when Gaddafi in 1999 advanced coming out of the OAU to the African Union with a vision of the United States of Africa. Muammar Gaddafi spent, listen to me, billions of dollars to create the African Union. Did you know that Gaddafi gave $300 million and the other African nations gave $100 million to put up a satellite so that we who call Africa don't have to go through Europe to get to Africa? And Europe was getting $500 million a year just by our telephone calls to the continent. Now we can call directly to Africa, and that $500 million is in the hand of African people. Did you know that Muammar Gaddafi was setting up an African development bank with $70 billion in the African Development Bank from Libyan oil money? That we would not have to borrow money from the IMF and the World Bank at these exorbitant rates. Zero interest under Islamic non-usury teachings. I just left St. Kitts, and in the island of St. Kitts, he was going to set up a Caribbean development bank. He told the prime minister there, and he was going to put $1 billion in that bank for Caribbean development. Why do you think they killed him? You think they killed him because he killed his people? Hell no. They killed him because, listen to me real good. You touched my nerve with that question. Did you know that in Libya, nobody's homeless? Listen. Everybody in Libya has either a home or an apartment. They call it a flat. Did you know education in Libya is free from kindergarten through college? And did you know that if a Libyan wanted to come to America to be educated, the government in Libya paid for their education? Did you know that? I was there when he opened a $500 million hospital with 18 theaters for operation. I was there, and we went when he was making their own medicines. See, this was a man that gave free medical attention to all the citizens of Libya. And if Libya did not offer that kind of medical attention, they could fly anywhere in the world and get it, and the Libyan government would pay for it. Did you know that? No, you didn't. Did you know that from the oil money, every Libyan citizen got a stipend every year? And did you know that that man had no debt? Everything in his country was paid for. See? Now, when you got a man that did that for an African nation and was trying to do that for all Africa, how do you think Europe felt?
When the attack happened in Libya, and Gaddafi was being taken down, a number of African presidents said, wait, hold. We will fly into Libya and we can have some kind of diplomatic conversations. The feedback from external actors to them was, if you fly into Libyan airspace, we cannot guarantee your security. I want you to think about that for a minute, that heads of state of the African continent were told this on our continent. And ladies and gentlemen, what is Libya today? What is Libya today? And it happened on our watch. Who will write the history of what happened in Libya? Africa must. Africa must write its own history. And Africa has never been given an adequate seat at the table. But where does Africa stand? 54 nations? A strong continent, resource-rich, fastest-growing continent in the world. Where do we deserve to sit? What was the role of Africa and African leaders, and why could international actors not give them the respect of sitting at the table with African leaders? That was the least that could have been done. You know, what is the standard of living for Libyans today? Is it better today than it was before the attack? Is Libya secure today? Are the neighbors of Libya secure today? And the final question, who earns from Libya's resources? Libya was a wealthy nation, oil producing. Who earns today? Do we know in this room where Libya's money goes? Africa. Africa. We have to ask the questions. We must. Ladies and gentlemen, Rwanda 1994. Dilly-dallying over the word genocide at the United Nations Security Council. So 1 million people dead in how many days? And who solved the problem? We had to solve the problem. His Excellency and a small force came back in and had to build this country from scratch, ladies and gentlemen. And today we still get lectures and hear lectures about human rights, and there's something wrong. I want to talk about South Africa today. In South Africa today we are hearing narratives being built around white genocide in South Africa. You are security actors, you understand the import of these narratives, and why are they being placed in the international scene? Why is this happening? What could it open up? Gaza today, ladies and gentlemen, where we've seen the brutalization and the massacre of tens of thousands of children. Solidarity. Allow me to end with a quote from a great African leader. I can see no security for African states unless African leaders have realized beyond all doubt that the solution of Africa lies in African unity. That was Kwame Nkrumah. Kwame Nkrumah, how many years ago? And so as I look at this room and the power in this room, and many who are watching on screens in different parts of the continent and the world, as Africans, what are you going to do about this? Thank you so much.